looking at see what it looks like running.
Or are you attempting to run?
I think I'm going to get the heck out of Dodge while I can.
Hello all, Project Wargaming here with a battle report on our Age of Sail campaign. The Age of Sail campaign has a little system where you can actually roll up scenarios, so that's what we begin with here. You can see Dad and I both rolling a dice, and we add that total together and reference the chart, which gives us a setup. And part of that setup is wind direction and wind speed. But the other thing it does is it gives us setup for our ships. So Dad actually sets up on a short edge of the table, and I set up on a long edge. And we actually rolled in such a way that we had to be, I think, within 16 inches of the table edge. But we had to be 45 inches away from each other to start with. So that gave us an interesting setup to start playing through. Dad's strategy here at the beginning of the game was he took his ships and split them into 3 squadrons. I think I split mine into 3 squadrons as well. He's got 2 74s, and so each one of his big squadrons is led by one of those 74s. And his plan is to try to draw me up the middle, which you can see that that's what I'm doing, and take his 2 squadrons and put them on both sides of my ships and kind of give me broadsides from both sides as he moves down. So I kind of play into that strategy, but my strategy was really to move forward and kind of do the same thing. So you can see I'm moving my frigates here and that squadron over to the other side of my ships of the line, and I'm going to try to go up the side of his squadron here in the middle. So you can see he starts to turn his center squadron and is going to start forming a battle line to come down and try to attack me there. Here he turns his outside squadron, and it gives him this result, which is I'm in the middle. Unfortunately for him, I rolled extremely well on my opening shots. So on my opening shot, I got a 16, which is a critical hit against that front 74. And then unfortunately for Dad, this big old first rate with its 100 guns pulls up right beside it and unloads on it as well. And a first rate against a 74 is just pretty devastating, really. I get a +8, I think, to every single die roll. So first round of combat really doesn't go well for Dad. He rolls probably below average. I roll above average. The second round here in the center, I roll average. He roll below average. And I just continue to really pound on that 74. And then I think it's it's just a small frigate, a frigate in the back there. So do some damage to that. That frigate in the back is actually a frigate that he captured from me. But you can see from Dad's reaction here, his rolls continue to not be so hot. And he gets fairly frustrated with that, but it really does start to break down his plan at this point, because I think at this point all of those ships in the middle have over half damage, hull damage on them. You can see him start to mark off all of those hull boxes, and it just keeps going. So that's unfortunate for him. From here on out, it is me trying to get positioned again to get shots on him. So I'm taking my main squadron there, turning around, and eventually I'm going to actually turn it around 180 degrees and try to come back up and hit his squadron and try to catch his outside squadron as well. I'm not able to do that, though, because Dad really at this point decides that he's just going to start running. He doesn't really announce it yet, but you can see from his movement, he's not really that interested in engaging me. Those guys on the outside never actually did engage in the combat, never fired a shot. That sounds silly, but it actually worked into his advantage because they get to turn here. But here you can see I hit a stern rake on that little frigate in the middle and actually get him to strike. There's some other action going on here with the smaller ships. My 2 sloops engage his smaller frigate, and actually eventually I get to him to strike as well. So it's going pretty well for me at this point, and I'm just trying to catch up and be able to do some damage to him. But since he's got the weather in his advantage, he's able to start to run. But of course, at this point, he really announces it, and his words are best to describe what his strategy is.
Are you looking at see what it looks like running?
Or are you attempting to run?
I think I'm going to get the heck out of Dodge while I can.
So Dad just wants to run at this point. That's the great thing about campaign games, is it really makes you think about future. You don't just sit there and do stupid stuff. You actually think, oh, I need these ships for another battle in the future. So Dad makes a smart choice and begins to run. Unfortunately, my shots were never against his rigging, almost all against his hull. So he is able to just speed away without any issues at all. But it's been really fun doing this campaign game, and I really enjoy the Age of Sails and these models. We'll talk to you later.